If you guys don't know about Offsite, I'm in the middle of a boat build. I haven't put out a lot on the boat build because I haven't really figured out until this week what I got to do to get this thing figured out. And LaMarche helps slam it in my head like, dude, the real question is, when is this thing going to be in the water? Well, it leads into the pipeline. And what's important is I'm going to start with tonight's pipeline. I'm going to start with tonight's sales lesson. It's going to be short. It's going to be about a 4 to 5 minute deal. A sales pipeline, baby. I'm using the kitchen sink. I'm using the kitchen sink because I love the lighting here. And I think I'm going to build one of these in the office because the lighting is perfect. So I'm going to take measurements, and anyway, I'm going to build this out. Here's what's key. Here's what's key that people do not understand. And I didn't get it until recently. Like, I literally didn't get it until recently. With the sales pipeline, it's important because this is the time of year where the business, your business, is changing. I don't care if you're going to do plowing, if you're going to do leaf cleanup, if you're going to do nothing, if you're going to do landscape projects, hardscapes, because now is kind of when you have to do planning, right? And the reason I mention pipeline is that you don't always have, you have to be selling work for the future, but then you have to be producing work. But then as you're producing work, you're not really selling work, and then you'll notice this is your business. This is my business. Can I get a tap on the screen if that's your business? This is my business. This is my business at GIE. GIE producing work. A week after GIE, Trav working that sales pipeline because there's not a whole lot in the pipeline for next week, right? But today I was out hustling it, and I'm freaking rocking it out. Here's how your sales pipeline is most likely going to look. You have your prospects. Your prospect number one. Prospect number one should be a customer that you've been looking at their yard all year, and you're like, you know what, they need that oak tree trimmed up. They need that oak tree trimmed up. They got a bad front lawn. They need to, they maybe winterize their irrigation. They got whatever it is, but you're like, dude, if I could just fix this for this dude, it would make me happy, make him happy. Guess what you're doing tomorrow? You're sending him a quote. You didn't ask for it, but any existing customers you have, you're sending them a damn quote. That creates prospect one. Now, prospect one typically is kind of like your most likely to close or your most daddy deal. Now, the reason I mentioned Offsite is LaMarche is right. Offsite's going to take some money to finish. And I want to do Offsite like correct. I want to do it to the point where like we're racing for titles. I want to do it right. My number one right now is a 200-acre monster. I got a lead 2 months ago, and I'm hunting this guy down. I want this 200-acre deal. He's my number one. Realistically, he won't close until January, right? He's probably not even going to be around until January. But if I get him done, if I get that job, Offsite is funded, right? Now, I've got a bunch, as of today, a bunch of 1 to 2 day work that is going to, one, come into November, or it's going to be sold into December. A bunch of it. Why this is important is as I get more prospects, I'm trying to book out January, I'm trying to book out December, and I'm trying to make sure I got something going on into February so that my business kind of chills out. You know what I'm saying? Kind of levels out. Kind of doesn't go through these big dips and these big downwards. And so tonight I wanted to introduce the sales pipeline. The reason I did November, December, and January is because we're in November. So whatever you got sold right now, like we're about to be in November. There's still a little bit of time where you can book out your Novembers and stuff, but most big projects, most of your daddy projects, they're normally 30, 60 days out. Some of your stuff can be 6 months out. If you're looking, the bigger the project, the farther out it is. The more permits that need to be in place, the more stuff like that needs to be in place to rock that out. Now, I'm trying to get my sales pipeline correct so I can get my Yamahas in line because I want to be running 2 Yamahas, but I got to have my sales pipeline in place to do that. And understanding a sales pipeline and having it in order, and I've literally make mine visual. Like my crap is visual. Like I have a whiteboard just like this, and I use stick notes. If you guys don't rock the Post-its, if you don't know about Post-its, you're way behind. If you don't understand Post-its and whiteboards, I don't know what you're spending your office money on, but everybody needs to be putting at least 50 to $100 a month into whiteboards, markers, erasers, and stickies everywhere. And notebooks. I rock the notebook. I got a million notebooks running around. Like, I do the notebook. That's what I do.